Hi, today we're going to talk about fertilizers. This video is meant for beginners. If you are an experienced gardener and you've done this for a while, it's probably not going to be very useful for you. But if you are like me and just starting out in this business of, growing your own vegetables, you might find something here that you learn. Okay, so when I started this a couple of years ago, I'm still learning a lot about it. Oh, it's windy today. When I started this, I had absolutely no idea what the fertilizers were. I just bought the first thing and I chucked it in, and it didn't really work sometimes. It took me a while to understand that fertilizers have indicators on them, the fertilizer packs. They have indicators on them that tell you which nutrients they have or which nutrients they are stronger in. And plants require three major nutrients to survive and to grow and to give fruit. And those are the ones we're going to talk about. There's a whole bunch of secondary nutrients which come also indicated on the fertilizer packs and bags that you buy, but I'm not going to talk about those. So if we can get a good understanding of those three major nutrients, we can get a really good performance from our garden. As we grow in experience, we can get, dive deeper into it and start to understand all the nutrients that the plants need, including the secondary ones. But this is a basic video for a basic understanding, which is enough for us to get a really good performance from our plants. So let's go and have a look. What's all the story behind the fertilizers? Come with me. So on the fertilizer front, they come in many shapes and sizes, but they all have a common strand. You can get granular fertilizers, you can get fertilizers that are liquid, you can get organic, you can get artificial, you can get a fertilizer that comes in the form of compost. The ones you buy all have a common thing. They have an NPK reading, and I'll explain that in more detail. But you'll find every bottle that you buy or every pack has got an NPK reading. I wrote this down, but if you look over here, it says NPK 805. This one has an NPK of 6, 5, 12, followed by another number. This one contains 6, 7, and 8. And you'll find balanced fertilizers contain 222 or 444, very similar numbers, 10, 10, 10. So I just want you to see that the NPK is an important marker when you buy fertilizers. The liquid fertilizers, this is a liquid one, also has an NPK, and it will either be here or in the small print. This one has it in the small print here. Oops, focus, there we go, 5, 8, 10, and it also contains it in the front here. This one, you buy it for indoor plants, it's a 736. I wrote it because this information is in the small print too, but very difficult to find. So if you look at it on the side, it's in Portuguese because these are the ones available in Portugal. It says NPK 736. So you have to pick up the bottle or pick up the container, look for the reading, and if it doesn't exist, you got to look for it in a small print and you'll find it. If it doesn't have a reading, don't buy it because you don't know what is in there. There is a common universal blue fertilizer here in Madeira. They call it Wazul, Wazul, but it also has an NPK 12, 12, 17 plus 2, and I'll explain what those look like. Here's another blue one, and this one does not have it on the pack. It's like the bottle. It's a granular fertilizer, but if you look in the small print, it does stay there. Let it say 10, 10, 20, plus 2 and 17. And it has it in various languages, so you can pick it up. So I write it on the box because it's easier to spot. When you buy soil in the nurseries or hardware stores for your plants, This is again universal soil. It also contains the NPK reading, and you need to find it either in the small print or it will indicate it somewhere on the packet. The NPK for this soil is 12, 12, 17. Okay, and when you buy soil for germination like this one, there's no NPK on the pack, but if you turn the pack around and search for it, you will find it in the small print. The NPK there is 922. So now that you know that there is a rating of the fertilizer and it shows the ratio of the blend between NPK, which stand for nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So to keep things simple, nitrogen encourages growth. Okay, it's for green growth of your plants. This means that the stems, the stalks, the branches and leaves will just grow stronger, larger, faster. Okay, nitrogen is a feed to grow plants. It's good for green vegetables. If you want to grow chard or lettuce, stuff like that, nitrogen is what you want to apply. It also can be obtained from compost or manure. It can add nitrogen to your soil. One of the things that you need to look out is if your plants are deficient in nitrogen, they will start to yellow the leaves. Usually the yellowing will start from the bottom and then progress up the plant. Okay, I'm referring to mainly trees or big bushes. You know, if you start seeing the yellowing of the leaves and it starts to migrate up the plant, it's a good sign that, or a sure sign that you're missing some nitrogen. If your soil is poor on nitrogen, your plants will also grow more slowly. So plants also need phosphorus to grow. Phosphorus is vital for the production of new tissue and for growth. It's really good for root vegetables, and it is vital for the production of roots, flowers, fruits, seeds. So when you have fruit trees that are approaching the budding season, they're going to need the phosphorus to enable them to create flowers. And then when it comes to fruiting, they need phosphorus to be able to create really good fruit. Some other areas or sources of phosphorus are bone meal and compost. If you have a lack of phosphorus, it will stunt the growth of your plants, and you don't want that. You need nitrogen, you need phosphorus, and you need potassium. So potassium also allows plants to grow well, healthy and well. It is one of the most important nutrients, all-round nutrients that you can give it, in addition to the nitrogen and the phosphorus. Potassium keeps plants stronger, helps them to grow healthier. This nutrient helps in particular to move water, sugar, and the other nutrients through the tissue of the plants. It's an all-round fertilizer that you absolutely need to keep your plants very, very strong and resistant to disease. Now moving on. This is a organic fertilizer, adubo, organic, biological, and it's actually blood meal. The NPK is 678, you can see there. And the form it takes is granular, almost falling to dust. So this is a long-term, slow-releasing fertilizer, which I normally use before I plant. I make a hole, I put this in, and then I put the plant in when I'm planting it. This is a similar type. This is for green product. You can see the nitrogen is high, the N is higher, so this is for green leafed plants, and it just makes green leaves. It makes them grow more and more and more. So if you want to grow fruit and flowers, you cannot use so much nitrogen because it just creates leaves and no fruit and no flowers. This is the same, it's also biological, and it is also blood meal. The blue fertilizer, the standard blue fertilizer, is granular. So is this other standard fertilizer that you get in the shops here. This is the standard balanced fertilizer, 10-10-10, but it could be 4-4-4, 2-2-2, 6-6-6, it doesn't really matter. It's also a granular fertilizer. As you can see, the grains are quite big. This is for dispersing on the ground. So I wanted to show you a different type of fertilizer. This is also an organic fertilizer. Again, it's got no phosphorus. This one comes in rounded pellets. It's not exactly granules. They are perfectly shaped pellets which you spread on the ground, a couple of handfuls depending on how much space. The measurement and the spread is usually written on the box or the container, so pay attention to that in terms of how much you put of each fertilizer in the ground or on the ground. The other fertilizer you get, the other type, is the liquid fertilizer, and the way this works is simply by pouring an amount, usually about a teaspoonful of fertilizer. That's too much. I use a teaspoon per liter of water, and then mix it nicely and then apply it on the ground. You got to be careful with the instructions, because he says that you can apply it to the leaves or you can apply it on the ground. If it's for ground application, stay away from the leaves because you will damage them. The measurements for the mixers are in the back here. That's for vines, for fruit trees, for citrus trees, strawberries, and so on. So I apply about a teaspoon of this per liter, and it works well. Here's a freebie for you. A little trick: if you have aphids, if you have scale or fungus growing on the leaves or on the plants, whatever you use as a liquid fertilizer for your leaves, you can mix in a teaspoon of bicarbonate sodium into the mix, into that 1 liter before you spray it, or you can mix in a teaspoon of neem oil. The neem oil and the bicarbonate sodium together with the soap eliminate or combat the pests. So it's a very nice combination to make. So while you're fertilizing the plant with a liquid fertilizer, you can also protect the leaves from being eaten and attacked by pests. So think about that. You can mix it in, no problem, and that's a freebie. For indoor plants or veranda plants, your typical household plant, you can also buy fertilizer for those. And typically they are quite high in the nitrogen. You get a whole lot of different types. Again, it tells you, the bottles tell you how much to mix. So I think that's 5 milliliters, 10 milliliters per cup. It comes at the top here with the measurements. It tells you the size of the measurement there, and then it tells you how much you put in per liter, and you can make the mixture quite nicely. So this is designed to make your green plants greener. That's, yeah, and you get all kinds of these for indoor plants. Again, you have to find the reading, and in particular it will be in the small print here, 736. So I just write it on the bottle so I know what it is. It saves me having to look it up. So have fun with your plants. Okay, so hopefully we know all about the basics on fertilizers, NPK, nitrogen, if you want to grow leaves, make the plant green and grow fast. Phosphorus, if you want the plant to grow fruit, give blossoms, grow fruit and grow strong roots. And then potassium for the overall health of the plant. Those are the 3 main ingredients we need in order to understand how to use fertilizers. There's other stuff like calcium, magnesium, iron, I'll do another video on those. Those are supplemental. Sometimes you need calcium, you need magnesium for the calcium to be absorbed, and also to help with the absorption of potassium. But I'll discuss that in another video. Essentially, the 3 NPK are the key ingredients. Go out there, make your plants healthy. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, press the like, click the subscribe, ding the bell so that you'll be reminded when new videos come out. Cheerio.